It's the Daily Talk Show, episode 629.
It's Fat Fridays, and we got Leah McClelland.
That's how my kids say it.
Do they?
So, yeah, they call themselves McClan.
McClan.
Yeah, it's too hard. McClelland. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, you were too kind. You just have done a few of our Fat Fridays catering with help from
The Birdcage Cafe.
Yeah. And so, I mean,
Thank you, Adrian.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adrian.
Today we've got egg cartons. It feels like quite sustainable, this sort of offering that you've presented to us.
Can you describe what's
modern
here?
day?
Okay, so you've got the dippy eggs off the menu. So basically you've got 2 eggs that were probably runny inside, but now with my commute might be a little bit more pasty, but that's fine. That's a vibe too. And then you've got avocado and some chili and some other things that you can put into your eggs, and a whole bunch of bread there to dip in.
And so do you
can crack
have any suggestions? I'll try one.
And there's salt there. Yep. All right.
If I screw it up, you can.
Yeah, you might need to help baby.
Okay, baby.
It's
weird when I call you baby. It's so weird.
It'd be worse if it was daddy.
Yeah, Happy Harry's been calling me daddy because he knows how much I hate it. And so he's answering his face, "Hello, daddy."
Oh wow!
But he's moved to
so much to unpack in that, isn't there?
Yeah, he started calling me bro because his dad said that I'm like his big bro. So
but he doesn't have a big bro.
Yeah, exactly.
So
so I'm like, I've taken the place. Okay, thank you.
Maybe just like chisel it off. Maybe we should have gone for a knife, but.
Look, I'm just going to... Oh, there we go.
There you go. You're in.
Perfect.
All right, yeah. These are old school. I mean, this is got a few soldiers with it.
Yeah.
It's I used to have something called coddled eggs.
What's that?
Coddled eggs, English dish. I used to see these things in our cupboard, and I was like, "What is that, Mum?" And she's like, "Oh." So you open it up. It's like looks like a lid, metal lid that has a sort of like a ring stuck to it that you can put your finger through and lift the whole thing up. And so it's almost like, picture a mug with a lid, and then what you do is you put that mug into hot water, and then inside the mug is eggs. And so it's doing this, but you don't have to crack any shell because you just undo the lid and it's already in there.
So you're boiling the egg in there?
Where's it from, Sevs? Coddled eggs. Where are they from? English dish.
What are you finding?
I've just got a coddled egg recipe.
Okay, how do you make them?
So the ingredients.
It's easy
heavy cream. 4 teaspoons of heavy cream.
I can get around that.
That's what they recommend.
Slightly, yeah.
You set the coddler inside the medium saucepan, fill with water, 3/4.
Yeah.
How you going, Josh?
Yeah, I'm struggling.
It is. There's a fair bit of...
You need some bread.
Yeah.
And there's also like a bacon mix here.
I know.
This is good.
So,
like quite fiddly while doing a podcast.
It's an interactive meal, and maybe retrospectively interactive is problematic.
No, it's perfect.
It's fun.
So International Women's Day is on Sunday.
Yes.
Are you doing, because your podcast, the whole premise is every big day you have a guest on.
Yeah.
Have you got someone?
No. So what I decided, great question. But what I decided to do was Endo Month because I thought everyone's going to do International Women's Day. So let's bring a bit of endo. I mean, I'm sure anyone with endometriosis is like, oh my gosh, don't joke about it. Yeah. I don't know if there's such thing as endo banter. So I'm sorry. But yes, they do.
I feel like enough people have it that there should be some level of banter.
That's right.
And so...
So I'm going to interview, I've got a girl who I used to work with who she's going to tell her story. She's told it on radio before, and I think it'd be good to humanise something that you just sort of hear stats about.
Is endo similar polycystic ovaries? Is that a different thing?
I think it's a different thing.
Yeah, I've got no idea.
But look, I haven't done my endo research
What
yet.
is endo? Like, how do you just...
Endometriosis.
Can you tell us, Mason?
Yeah. What's the official endometriosis?
I mean, Mr. 97.
A disorder in which tissue similar to the tissue that forms in the lining of your uterus grows outside your uterine cavity.
So
Painful.
I think, that's all, It feels like there's a bunch of things that women have to deal with in regards to that health shit that's very common that blokes just don't have to do. I guess that's one of them.
And also birthing babies.
It's
all centered around that, right? Like endometriosis, isn't that?
Yeah, it's like reproductive, I suppose. It's in that camp. Yeah, there is a lot, isn't there?
How are you feeling with the podcast stuff? How's
good.
It going?
I think I'm doing 2 more episodes and then I'm closing it. And then I'm doing the next project, I think. So Endometriosis Month, and then the final one is Creativity and Innovation Month. I was actually going to invite you on for that.
Oh, yeah.
So sorry to put you on the spot, but if you're available.
Yeah, I'd love to.
So I'm thinking of getting maybe 4 different creative innovators and talking about how they do that, what their creative process is, and then also doing a bit of a creative activity together.
Sure, I love that.
You should do your balls.
What
Do your balls.
what's my balls?
Daradango.
Oh, the
Dorodango.
Dorodango, which is like a clay ball from Japan. Have you heard, George, you love Japan.
Yeah.
Have you heard about Dorodangos?
No.
Dorodangos.
Sorry.
What is it?
It's a clay ball.
Get excited, George. It's gonna blow your mind, mate.
No, you make it, and over time, it's actually the official translation is mud ball. Is that right?
I think so, yeah.
Where do I sign up?
No, and so what you do is you create
It's
this
a mud
ball.
dumpling. That's
Sorry, mud
the
dumpling.
official. Yeah.
And
But
so-
you can't eat it. That's
No.
misleading.
But the
You can't
idea
call it
is
dumpling.
that over time you smooth it all out, so it becomes this perfectly spherical ball, and you can like put it in your house and stuff, and you sort of. So anyway, I want to do that. So that TJ's point around that, it takes a long time. So it's probably not
It could
something
be
you
a
could
long
do in a
one.
session.
Maybe that's a side hobby.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey,
But you could definitely talk about it.
Has there been any Doomsday Prep at the McClellan household?
Oh, yes.
That's how I'm going to do your name by the McClellan. Do you like it or no?
It's all right. My last name used to be Supermus, and that's Macedonian. And so I encountered a lot of people calling me Spermy in high school.
Spermy.
So now I feel like nothing is worse than that.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, you've got your mouth full of stuff to say that.
fine.
But that was
Egg
my
was a bad
experience.
choice.
I'm so sorry. But yeah, so now I don't mind about any last name banter because it doesn't seem as tough.
But have you done any Doomsday prepping at your joint?
Okay, so I went to the shops yesterday just because I genuinely needed some toilet paper and there was just nothing there. And there was these 2 older ladies who were like, where's all the paper gone? And they were all angry. And then this Coles worker came up to them and she's like, don't even get me started on this. You know,
she's trying to
people are
relate.
crazy and I'm going home. So it was really, sorry for all the acting, but it was really intense.
You were the worker. That was it.
I believed it. I believed
Yeah,
it.
I really did. I
Thank you.
felt like I was at Coles.
Compelling performance.
Josh and I are the old grandmas.
So then my friend Holly called me and she said, look, I've been to 5 different shops today, supermarkets, no toilet paper, no nappies for her kid. So she's like, I've got a hack for you. Go to Bunnings because Bunnings have massive toilet rolls for like office buildings. So I said to my husband, hey, on the way home, can you grab it? So we literally can't fit it on the toilet holder. But we've got these
Is it
massive rolls.
toilet paper for tradies?
Yeah.
Is it like big sort of, just
It's like, you know how like in the McDonald's toilets and things like that, they have those big canister
yeah.
ones?
Yeah, it's the
We've
big
just
one.
got a
Yeah,
massive
yeah.
canister one.
So you just need to get now, like you need to install a whole system.
Yes.
It's a bit,
Yeah,
but it's shit toilet paper.
Yeah, it's rubbish
Yeah,
toilet
it's like you need to use double to make it like it's so
It's
So
that
annoying.
or
right.
nothing though.
Yes, you know, I saw these
You would choose
people
nothing.
with
have a shower.
trolleys full of like handy towels, you know, like all paper towels for your
really?
hands and tissue boxes as well. Like they had trolleys full of that. So people are trying all wipeable mediums at this point.
Mate, I'm happy with showering after the toilet if that's what it got
when
to.
do you have,
Our office has a shower. So
oh, okay.
I'd be pretty annoyed if every time like you were using the shower multiple times.
I've got a friend who it's,
For your
it's his thing.
feces?
It's his thing. It's his thing. He washes after he does that
Yeah.
number 2.
I know someone as well.
Yeah,
It's I think it's actually a sensory issue.
Can you look it up?
Right.
It's either Pink or Katy Perry only uses wet wipes
I reckon there's a lot of people
for everything. Yeah, but then
I don't know.
you can't because you can't put them down the top. You can't flush them.
Yeah, well,
It's
there's
an
that big
absolute-
issue. They were getting huge balls because they were all clugging together.
They're not Dorodangos.
Yeah, it was a little bit
they're
like a
called- What are they
Dorodango.
called? It's weird. They were underneath Fatbergs.
Oh, yeah.
Fatberg dumplings.
No, look up Fatbergs. It is
Yeah, it's like the amalgamation of a whole heap of gunk in your sink that blocks
Everything.
the spot, yeah?
It's not ideal.
It is
Yeah.
Gronk equals Fatberg. Like people who are just putting anything down the toilet.
Yeah.
And so, were you just going to get, say, 15 roll? I don't even know. Like, do they come in like 12, 18?
Yeah, I'm not sure of all the different disbursement numbers. I haven't paid heaps of attention, but I was just going to get a small pack because we'd just literally run out.
I just dropped
It was just
lemon
bad
wedge
timing. Where did it go?
on the ground.
I've already dropped egg.
Imagine if you were a sales rep for a toilet paper company. You have the boringest job ever until the last couple of weeks.
A lot of banter.
People wouldn't be going, so tell me about how it is on the road as a toilet paper salesperson.
Well, how about this?
But now you'd be like,
And all the radio stations are calling them as well.
How much of the toilet paper that's getting used is for just radio stations needing to do content?
Yeah.
So they're going. I saw Leon Shergren with probably
He was wheeling a trolley.
wheeling a trolley of them for Fifi, Fev and Byron.
Yes.
But the prepping thing, I don't quite understand why people are going. Is the idea with the toilet paper just that we need that?
Yeah, I guess they're assuming, I'm getting into the mind of a doomsdayer, I guess they're assuming that, if it's locked down, what are the essentials? And apparently that's Panadol, toilet paper and nappies.
Panadol, toilet paper.
They seem to be the things that are going.
So
Lots of Easter eggs left, so I've been taking full advantage of all the shelves full
Are
of
they
that.
on sale?
No,
Yeah,
not on
okay.
sale, just in stark contrast to the tumbleweeds going through all the rest of the aisles. So it's pointing me in the direction of chocolate. So maybe that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I do, because I was hearing Hamish was on Kennedy and Malloy, and he was talking about how we don't know when a doomsday is actually going to happen. Maybe this is the start. We're all laughing and being oh, this is ridiculous. But it's not I guess that we assume that it's going to just one day all of a sudden start happening. We know that it's to prepare.
Oh, what you're saying is seeing people prepare for a doomsday is probably not the sign of doomsday. The doomsday happens and people are unprepared.
Well, no, we assume that that's how it happens.
What, people prep and then...
No, that it just all of a sudden it's we know that shit's happening and so everyone's got to go there. But what's happening right now is a pretty good signal in some ways that if everyone else is doing it, there is that sense of maybe we should be doing it.
I think you got to assume people are a bit more stupid.
I feel
that's what we're banking on, aren't we?
we're laughing at the doomsdayers and they're laughing at us. But maybe they're doing one of those wild cackle laughs. So who's right and who's wrong, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean...
I even saw Ruru, who listens to the show, sent me her friend bought the domain name Australian Toilet Paper. .com.au.
That's something you do.
I know.
Will you really cut?
No, it's illegal though. She can't have it. .com.au. She doesn't have a business.
He then, the friend had his business, he did the business name registration Australian Toilet Paper.
That's a great idea.
But is it? Because then you're in, their business.
It's as good as half the domain. It's actually better than most of the domains you've purchased.
I don't think it is.
The business one.
I think that it's playing into the hype right now, which is real, but
you can
if you're
ride
6
hype
months
hard,
in,
though, you can ride it.
They say when there's a gold rush, invest in shovels. So when there's a panic, invest in toilet
Domains?
paper.
No.
Invest in, maybe
that's
domains. I don't
interesting.
know.
What's an example of that at the moment?
So podcasting is a gold rush. Invest in the tools to make podcasts because there's going to be so many people help me, like me.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I wonder.
I think it's invest in building podcast studios that people could record a podcast in. Mm-hmm. It's you're renting the shovel. We're renting out the space.
Apparently there's on Gumtree, people are literally selling toilet rolls by the roll. I saw someone posted that.
Thousands of dollars they're trying to get.
But
really?
This is silly.
Is that a joke?
This is silly.
I mean,
it has to
20
be.
grand for a
Oh,
dozen.
okay. I was seeing them for $10
really?
or something a roll. Yeah.
I feel like there's just other ways. Have a shower. So you've brought in some toys.
It was an attempted content idea.
We love that's the whole show.
I was inspired by Andy Lee. Was it Andy Lee, I think, who said when you come to speak or when you come to be a guest, always think of what you can contribute, which I always thought of that anyway, but it just took it to the next level. Anyway, so I tried to make a Jenga Tower and I thought in my mind I had this vision that we would all be laughing and I would have this tower and we'd pull out the ones that were like, oh, is it going to fall? And each one has a question on it. However, my kids stole this bag and ran away with it. And I was so I had never felt the level of rage that I felt.
Really?
It's scary.
Did
it was
you-
like I was unleashing my inner Josh about the kitchenette. It was like,
How's that become the standard? I'm a pretty calm guy.
You
Have
are.
you watched yourself back?
I think it's your thinly veiled rage that I can hear behind your voice. Yeah,
No, I
yeah.
get that.
So I was doing that. I was doing a Josh and searching through my house trying to find the pieces, and I haven't got enough for a whole tower. But I've got,
Did you notice straight away the kids were doing it?
No, this is the
Okay.
thing. They're so crafty, aren't they? Because if there's a bit of quiet, you're kind of like, oh, this is nice. They stole it last night when I had my sister over for dinner.
What did they
Perfect
think they
time
were
to do
doing?
it. They were just kind of like blocks, even though I'd said, hey, these blocks are for this, and I'd put them in my handbag on the bench.
So do you think that the mistake was telling them that the blocks were in the handbag on the bench?
They'd already asked about it. Otherwise, I never would have told them.
So they said, hey, mum, what's with the blocks?
Yeah. They're like, hey, did you buy me blocks? Which,
Really?
fair enough. It's so sweet of them to assume.
Do they have, they don't have blocks?
They've got their own blocks.
Okay.
Look,
Mate,
this is
it's-
another rant. Does anyone care? I don't know. They do have their own blocks.
Oh, okay. Other kids' toys are way better than their own. That's why.
Or their mum's toys are better.
Yeah, that's so annoying. Okay.
Yeah.
And
So anyway, so now I think instead of making a Jenga tower, we just shake the bag and pull out a block.
All right, I pull out a Jenga block.
Yeah.
It's
Not
got a
as
question
visually
on it?
exciting for YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, they've got questions on them.
Great.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, okay. I'll steal one of these. I'm going blue because I
The
like
bacon
blue.
stuff is delicious.
It is
it?
So good.
So am I
It's like
reading?
smoky.
Am I reading this out for you guys?
I think it's
or-
for you to answer.
Ah, for myself.
Your block,
okay.
your question.
Something that made you think.
Nothing.
Yeah. Jeez.
You have to go back a bit.
I think it's this. This is the first time I've thought in a while.
Yeah.
So whether it was a podcast you listened to, a book, a show, a guest you had on here.
I mean, you're the pushback guy when it comes to thinking.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, smoking a joint last year.
Yeah.
Actually, no, on those cookies.
Oh, you were
on
thinking
those,
on the edibles.
on those
That's really
edibles.
the last time you really thought was when you
It's
took
supersonic.
illicit drugs.
It's
Is it-
not
it
illicit.
takes you-
Not illicit. Oh, is it illicit? Illicit
What does
means it's
illicit
illegal.
mean?
They weren't illegal drugs. They were in
Yeah.
LA,
They
and we
were
had the
legal in context.
Yeah.
gummy,
legal
so
in
it was all good.
Uh-huh.
But boy, I thought a bit that night.
Where
Yeah.
did your brain go? I've never tried a drug. Tell me about your brain.
I never tried a drug.
Yeah.
It's just THC, the drug, makes you.
What did it do to you, though?
Yeah, I think for me, it's like you get hyper. I think we all. The weird thing is you start thinking a lot, but then you catch yourself thinking about how fast and how many thoughts you're having, and so it could be something as funny as like once there's so many versions. It's like I thought a million thoughts that day.
Well,
or something.
you and I were fighting.
Pretty standard.
Yeah, no, but I mean, the thing is, because it was meant to make us all happy, and then we were instructed to start with 10 milligram, there were 10 milligram gummies. And they said
said
start
have
with
half.
5, so start with half. I took it. 2 hours in, Tommy's laughing, 97's laughing.
Yeah, we
and
had
I'm
a
just-
great
I'm
time.
just sitting on the couch. I'm like, I'm not feeling it. I was getting annoyed. I'm like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. And then Tommy's like, oh, I'm going to go to bed. And then I said, okay.
That was like 2 hours.
And then I
later.
said, okay, can I
No, but
just
that's
have...
because you said you were going to go.
No, well, the thing was because I
And
said,
because he was-
because I said, can I have my other half? He's like, no, you can't have your other half. And so then I cracked it and he hid the gummies. And then so
It was a great.
I went to bed and FaceTime Bree and I said, like, Tommy's being an asshole. And then I said to 97, I'm like, why is he getting to control my experience? And so then 97 went into Tommy's room and said, hey, Josh is really upset.
I can't
And so-
believe that even relaying this, you don't see the absurdity in how stoned we all were.
I wasn't.
Like for the fact
That's the
that
thing
you
is
go
I
and
wasn't.
for the fact you go and FaceTime Bree and say something like that about something as absurd as taking
I don't think
drugs.
it was that crazy though.
You'd usually do that though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would do. I
After
think
this,
I was.
you'll be doing it.
I think I was pretty. It was a pretty standard reaction. Do you think that I was high, Sevs?
Yeah, but you were saying, you were talking to Bree so loud, like it was real obnoxious the way that you were talking because there was only a wall between you and Tommy, so Tommy could have heard all of it.
But that was maybe my mechanism. I'm like, how do I say how I feel? And so
All of it pointed to the guy that's stoned but doesn't realise it.
Well, that's what you were saying, but I was saying you were more stoned than me, so you
No,
didn't.
I was stoned. I'm not the guy denying it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like they're
No, it's
gaslighting you in terms of your drug
Exactly.
use?
Yeah,
This is
definitely.
a particular type of gaslighting, isn't
Yeah,
it?
well, because the thing is, I ended up having 20 milligrams, and they said start at 5 or whatever.
So
I
if you
didn't
didn't
feel
feel, but you were so rat shit the next day. You couldn't drive. Like I
It's
ended
because
up
we
driving.
went to bed after 10 o'clock. We were up half the night.
How rat shit was he? Mason and I were out doing exercise, and
I
you're
was still
just in
pissed
bed
off
till
at
12.
you because if I'd gotten the gun, and this is the thing, I don't like having to do this because I sound like a drug, like me, like being like, oh, I wanted more, and you're not giving it to me.
No, that's what happened.
Give me my fix, Tommy.
And
You
that's
should have seen it.
And the thing is, they point to things I do anyway. They're like, mate, if you're not stoned, how do you just finish the whole thing of ice cream? It's like,
That's
yeah,
me.
that's just what I do.
No. I mean, we got footage. Have you watched it?
No, I haven't
so
seen
we got
this.
the whole.
You can definitely see the shit you're doing.
I'm
He
thinking-
took a
I'm thinking just
selfie
with
and
that
kissed
footage.
Josh. He kissed Mr. 97.
Yeah.
The
selfie.
Gronk.
I was about
VIPs.
Yeah.
VIP Gronks.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
We can send the video out to VIP Gronks.
There's
Cool.
a photo up there. You even look stoned, dude. And that's when we were stoned.
I think there was a part of me which was like, because the person at the marijuana shop said you need to set your intentions.
Sounded very wistful. And
Yeah. And so I set my intention. I set my intentions. I'm like, I'm not going to, because I know that I could. The first time I ever drank, I ended up in tears. And so I was like, okay, I don't want to do that again. And so I set my intentions like, everything's great. It's all going to be good. Like, this is going to be fun.
You are strong.
Yeah,
you are
I'm
beautiful.
sure. Yeah, this is going to be great. And then, but I can't control what the people around me do. So I felt like that's where it went wrong. I think that if I had that experience on my own, it would have.
Stoned in isolation is way more fun.
Yeah,
Apparently.
I think it would have been. And the thing was
That's
that I was
a real drug addict.
no, but I was leaning
Getting in
into
the
it.
way of my experience.
Well, I was leaning into it. Like the thing is that they're like, okay, if you were stoned, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Like
You put a box on your
Yeah, I got a I got a LaCroix box. I was like, you know what? I think the guys are stoned. I'm not stoned yet. So I'm going to go to the kitchen and I'm going to get a LaCroix box. I'm going to put it on my head and just pretend it's not there. And I'll see if that gets a good laugh. But that was me leaning in to...
No, when
I
are you
wasn't
ever
stoned.
doing shit like that? When are you ever kissing 97?
It was on the cheek. And it was
I
for
know
a
that.
photo.
Yeah, but when are you doing that? You've never done that. My point is, I don't know how you don't see that even where you thought you were in control, that was you being stoned.
But it was so low level.
Yeah, so you wanted to not be as conscious in that moment.
Yeah, I think I just
'Cause you
wanted
sound
to-
like you were very alert and aware.
Yeah. I think I just wanted to... I wanted to be laughing. I wasn't laughing enough.
Maybe
Not
it's
everyone
like
laughs,
alcohol
dude.
where your inhibitions come out and your inhibitions are a bit more sad.
Yeah, that's it. It's a bit of the limo thing, just working out that the food
Yeah.
makes you sad. So I think,
Anyway, there was a lot of thinking.
A lot of roads lead
Lot
to
of thinking
sad.
there.
Okay, so you
Okay,
thought then.
thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you were thinking about your thinking because you were like, wow, there's
Constantly.
a
I
lot
mean, I
of
do that anyway, but it's just hyper thought. Once I was stoned and I was making peanut butter toast. Everything tastes better when you're stoned. Anyway, and I had the butter and it was like at my mum's house and it was a big slab of butter. And in my head, I was like, oh, this must be cold, like hard, rock hard. And I brushed my knife through it and pressed hard into it to try and sort of get some leverage on that cold butter. And it wasn't cold butter and it just went straight down to the bottom. But it was so funny because then I realised and I just could not stop laughing at how I'd thought it was cold butter, but it was really room temperature butter that I cut through with a knife. Anyway,
So that's
shit like
insight into a drug experience, eh?
that. Yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
the uncontrollable laugh is great. If you can get an uncontrollable laugh, I got an uncontrollable laugh today.
Yes.
Silence.
When I made you spit water out of your nose.
Can I tell
Oh,
that
yeah.
story?
Blow water. Yeah, you can tell. It's fine.
So I said to George has just this matter-of-fact way of describing everything. Always got a little story. And I said, George, we need you to learn how to upload all the show content because we don't know what, if Sevs gets sick or he gets hit by a bus. And then George said, funnily enough, the way I got my last job was the editor got hit by a car.
Funnily enough, eh?
Funnily enough.
Yeah.
And I was sipping my water.
Funnily enough.
And so it
Sometimes
just
you got to make your opportunities happen, don't you, George?
But then B's like, it's like, well, how is he? He's like, he's good. Like, he was off work for 3 months and, a lot of physio and that sort of thing. But no, he's good.
He's good. He's back.
Oh, okay.
And
So
so
it wasn't
he's not
final.
dead.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, he's not. So, but it's still full on.
He was full on. Yeah.
But I mean,
Did you
for me.
feel the pressure? Very
it's
good for you.
absurd. You're floating some, it's like, make sure you have clean underwear. You might get hit by a bus.
Yeah.
You're sort of saying something like that, and he said, "Yeah, funnily enough,
Yeah.
my mate had shitty underwear and got hit by a bus."
Well, it's almost like literal George, maybe. Like he's just got he's able to take something that could have just it was just a comment.
Yep.
And just being able to connect it with an actual fact.
All right, time for another.
Okay.
All right, go, Josh.
Lego.
It's not Lego.
Jenga.
What is it? What's the
Jenga.
Is this
I'd call it a
Duplo?
Jenga.
It's almost Jenga. Lego Jenga. Jenga.
Jenga.
It's
Something you hate that everyone loves.
Oh, this is going to be a long list.
I don't hate that many things. But
I love how everyone's painting the picture of who you are, Josh. I don't know how everyone's doing this.
It's a daily show.
something you hate that everyone loves. Heaps. Yeah, no, I just hate the expectation to
Hate that everyone.
movies.
You could say majority of people are into movies.
Like I don't have time for all that, but I think like maybe just the paying for stuff at restaurants.
No, we don't love
I don't
that.
love that.
Nah. What do people love?
Going out.
Well,
Bree's like, we've just been invited to this festival on March 20 something. And she's like, this song, Bernard
Fanning.
What
Is this a flashback
Yeah,
concert?
Powderfinger?
Yeah, he was ex-Powderfinger. Bree said, if you look up Bernard Fanning festival, so I'm going to that. But Bree was coming at it with this is so exciting. I'm like, I'll do it, but I'm not excited. And so I think it's that festivals, anything that involves big groups of people, holidays with people outside of 4 people. If it's a bigger group, no.
Does that suffice, Leah?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I was also thinking is there any trend that you everyone's on board for it, but you're not really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You're don't believe the hype. Beyonce, come on,
sure.
that kind of thing.
Heaps.
No, you lean into the hype. But not even the hype. Like iPhones, you're like, yeah, all good. It'd be more like Android users are more the people. Anyone who uses a Pixel.
No, I appreciate it.
I'm feeling so targeted.
It's like most people go, the basic bitch like myself and Josh are using iPhones.
Mm-hmm.
No, there would be heaps. Just give me a few seconds.
That's right. I'll start rummaging.
Okay.
Can you do one for Sevs? Pick one up for Sevs.
Of course.
No, you got it, Josh.
Okay. I enjoy playing in that space.
Okay, Mr. 97.
All right.
Okay, can I pick a different one because I want to answer this one? Okay. Something that has challenged you, Mr. 97.
Oh yeah. Okay. No, I was at home last night and everyone in my family sort of jumped on the bandwagon in terms of giving me shit for not cleaning up at home, and so it was all prompted by the kitchenette episode, and so Mum brought it up, and so then Dad jumped in, Sam jumped in, and
I thought you would be a guy that did do that at home. So
that's what I was, and so
what's happened?
Well, just going to the gym late, I never get home, I never clean up.
So now it's the people versus Mr. 97.
Yeah, and so it I guess it sort of challenged my thinking because I was like, oh yeah, I do that, I'm good at that, but
yeah.
Did you get upset? That's a
no,
yes.
no. It wasn't upset. It was more just like a wake up call to clean up more. Yeah,
Thought you were that guy, but you're not.
yeah.
No, fair enough. Let's be honest.
Can I do one for George?
Yeah.
Go on. Just quickly, Jasna says she agrees with you about concerts and mass crowds.
Yeah, thanks,
Doesn't
Jasna.
like
Yeah.
Also, Rainman Rory says we should get a TDTSB day.
As in a birthday.
B-Day.
Like B-Day.
Not a B-day.
A B-Day.
A
B-Day.
A bidet.
Yeah.
I've
Also-
never actually used one.
Yeah, I have.
They're all across when Bree and I were traveling, but I just I just don't want to have to deal with that negativity.
They're
know?
so accurate in Japan.
Oh,
It's ridiculous.
so accurate.
Yeah.
You've got your little bum on one?
Yeah, because they got like the full remote next to you.
It sounds a bit frightening.
I would
Just, like,
pay to
used to it. It's
see.
like,
Is it controls? Like what?
Yeah, you got different
Intensity?
strengths and- but it's
I
like
would,
it's
yeah.
like
Bang on. I would pay to see footage of George's face the first time he used it. Like nothing else, just face that.
Is it just like, do your ears ring? It's that accurate, you know?
Yeah.
you sort of go. Oh, you sort of.
It's like a sniper.
You're on the phone to the police.
Yeah, I've just been.
But it's all on the one.
You're assaulted.
A bit just assaulted me. Hey, Kogan have got them, $240 or something. We could get one for the office.
I don't know if we want one at the office. I think it's promoting too much. I think just do your twos at home.
That's not a workplace you can create.
What do you think, George?
Yeah, get one.
No, so you're a
Workplace?
You think workplace dumps are fine?
I think we legally have to be.
I think
I think we
I'm
legally have
supportive
to
of
allow
anyone who
workplace
needs
dumps.
Yeah, anyone who needs
I'm
to go
going
to the
to step in
toilet.
as HR right now.
What you think that
You have to
legally we
let
have
him,
to?
let him let it out.
So yeah, I think you have to create an environment where people can take them.
I don't know if that's actually true. though.
We're a
think
dumping
so.
environment.
It's in
What
such
in-
an awkward spot here. It's right next to the studio.
I mean,
Pretty much in the studio.
yeah, it is in the studio. I
You have to
people
lock everyone
I think people
upstairs.
are. I mean, we had a guest in earlier in the week, and like we finished the show, and then I just say to Sevs, just pump up some tunes, which is just sounds like I'm about to demolish it. It's like, just get ready, everyone. Which is not true. Like I just think that I didn't even want the person to hear my stream because then
But
it just
you're
sets
just
the
assuming
expectation.
everyone's as awkward as you are about it, though.
I think that it is. I think that George brought it up. And so that's
No,
Sebs,
but George doesn't care. He's the guy that likes to have a little cannon fire at his bum
do you
hole.
not do you not care? You don't care about it? Like
About your stream.
no, but no, so say if you
About your stream.
but do you think that creates a culture of taking a dump if it's so close to the studio?
Potentially. To be honest, I probably wouldn't.
He's relatively new. Maybe as you ease into
I
it,
think that,
then
like-
your bowels will ease.
No. Sebs?
Unless you've really got to go. I'd prefer to hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Or even go to like a
Children.
I don't care if anyone else does it, but I just would probably try and hold on.
Actually, you're not children because children don't give a shit. They'll shit anywhere. It's tarnished adults you are.
no. I think we just have respect for our environment.
Absolutely not.
Like you, yeah.
Absolutely not.
But this is a whole like we have to like it's not like I don't know. I feel like within an office you shouldn't have to open office windows and turn on fans and spray it. Like it's like a
Everyone wears
dealing
a
with
mask.
it's like in China they've been doing the coronavirus just spraying everywhere. It's like we have
That's
to do
us in
that.
Glen 20.
It's a nightmare. You don't feel that, TJ?
It's how you continue the awkwardness of doing number two. So then the people that have problems, like bowel issues, like what are they meant to feel? The thing is, we've developed such a bullshit view on using toilets.
Stop pretending like you're woke because you take a dump at the office.
Can we get that on a t-shirt?
Yeah, that's what
I
you're doing.
dump,
That's
I'm
what
woke.
that's what you're doing. It's like I dumped. So for everyone that has issues,
No, but it's
I dump,
freely.
therefore I'm woke.
it's like, yeah, I think it's choose
you
your
don't-
wokeness.
no,
you
no.
choose your wokeness about the most stupid shit. And so this is one that I actually think.
So you are doing it. You were doing it as a service to the community.
No, I hadn't even thought about it like that. I'm literally just like, it is dumb how you give pushback on this. It's like people get. I think people are more. I think it promotes the awkwardness by people doing what you're doing.
So you want us to? I don't do anything.
It doesn't matter.
What do I
Like,
actually
think
do?
about
What
back
am I
in the
doing?
day, caveman days, where everyone's just shitting, just pissing, nude.
So that's the standard.
Like you think
That's
about
the
Africa.
standard?
Think about the little tribes in Africa where the women are
Don't bring
nude, the
Africa
dicks are
into
out,
this. Don't. You've gone from woke.
babies
to
are
just,
shitting themselves. I think I'm probably more after having a baby. If there's more, like I'm wiping an ass. Leah's wiping 3. It's
How many
4
kids have you got?
3.
Yeah,
3.
yeah.
3, but
Yeah,
2
yeah.
out of 3 are now wiping their own ass. I can report.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, good. 2 out of 3. All right, back to 1. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, George,
Okay.
the question for George.
Okay, George, just to change tact, what's your dream collaboration or collab?
Dream collab. Probably working with the Hamish and Andy show.
Oh, fuck. I was about to start clapping, but
Is it
They're
the
both in
perfect
pain.
holiday? I mean, you're obnoxious. You're wearing the perfect holiday jumper.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, who fucked up big time last week? Had to go to a wedding on the Friday that we had Hamish Blake in the studio. That could have been your collab. That could have
It
been
could have been it.
Yeah. They could have been like, man, that cackle is great. Cackling George. Instead, you're trying to, do 97's job in case he gets hit by a bus.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
But that's a good collab.
So
I feel like you're sad now. Are you sad? Am I being too hard on you?
you did really rapidly fire at him.
Are you okay?
I reckon that,
Seriously, are you all
I'm
right?
fine.
Okay.
What do you love about them? Why would you want to collab? Like, what would be your dream project?
Fun environment.
How do you know?
Would you be able to take a dump there freely?
Do you think you would?
Hey, what was that?
Would you feel you could toilet freely
Yeah, I
there with the
reckon.
Hamish and Andy show?
Bit looser than
Yeah,
that.
so you reckon there would be more supportive culture around shitting there? Is that what you're saying? Because I'd like to work there too if that's what we get.
I reckon it'd be it'd be fun. They're good people. They're making good TV shows.
Oh, so you'd want to be in there too. You can't do all of it though.
I'd probably prefer the TV stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so we've still got time to
stay
be
with
here.
Podcast here,
Yeah,
and then the TV stuff I'll go over there.
perfect answer.
You don't get to
Perfect
choose that.
holiday.
Right.
Real
And
Stories
then-
was like my favorite show growing up.
Which one?
Real Stories.
Real Stories. That's the that was the current
feels like
affair-esque.
Yeah.
One.
Very long time ago.
Yeah.
People
doesn't feel
confuse
like
that
it was
with
that
true
long
story.
ago.
No, so there's True
Oh,
Story.
okay, sorry.
And then
Like
there's
me.
Real Stories. And Real Stories is
It's a sketch show,
mhm.
but it's formatted like a current affairs show.
Cool.
So they all play different characters and stuff. Brilliant. That was the reason why I wanted to even start doing any of this stuff. Loved that.
There you go.
I'm so
cool.
sad you missed Hamish.
Yeah, it's very upsetting, isn't it?
I've forgotten about it.
And then you also did you speak to Ryan Shelton at the live event?
Nah, not really.
Oh, is it because it's a bit intimidating?
his-
Like to
No,
go
no,
up to someone?
It's because he was holding onto a shit. Too nervous. Had to get. I can't go. I can't.
What
Josh
did
says
you-
we can't shit in Publix.
I'm so backed up.
So you shook his hand.
Yeah, just said hey. That was about it.
What do you say when you see a celebrity in the wild? Because I saw Michelle Laurie at Coles the other day, different day to the toilet paper day, and I didn't know if I should approach her or not. Because, you're doing your shopping. You don't just want the general public to be like, hey.
What
Hey,
would you
girl.
say?
That's what I thought. What would I say?
It has to be the caliber.
What do you mean?
Post Malone, the biggest
No,
super.
'cause
He's the biggest
you're just
celebrity in the world. Like he's the
justifying-
biggest rapper in the world.
Mhm.
And so I was like, I have to. How many chances am I in New York and Post Malone's just having a durry and he's there by himself? How many times I just got straight up, oh my God, fucking Posty. A good
Yeah.
chat. But like, I wouldn't do that to Grant Denyer or who else? Larry Ebner.
You wouldn't?
You wouldn't?
Nah, no way. I'm not Larry. Like, I'd be more the guy that just is like, Larry.
Okay. So maybe you do that. But then,
Not,
is that
I mean,
weird for someone like
walking-
me to be like,
No,
That's
walking, Michelle. I mean, you should probably appreciate. They get that they have attention around them. So, hey, Michelle, love your work. That's it. That's
Yeah,
nice.
well, that's
love
what
your
I
work.
wanted to say, and it seems too intense to be like, "Hey, Michelle, I see you buying Canton curry there,
Was she?
but
Was she?
well,
Yeah.
no, it's not an exclusive. It was that aisle.
What was it?
I don't
What
know
was she
exactly
getting?
what she was like. I actually saw her in a few aisles, and I kept having that emotion of, we're in the same aisle again. Should I say something? Because I really do love her as a
Did you think about what
as
you
a
would say?
broadcaster. Yeah, I thought I would say, I think you're a fantastic broadcaster, but then that seems so cringy. And she would just be like, I just want to buy my stuff and get out of here.
I don't think you'd say that. Like, you'd have to be a real asshole for that to be your response, don't you think?
I don't know. Because as well, when you're doing like a task, maybe you don't want.
Yeah.
George, I feel like you'd be the type of guy to well, I guess you shook Ryan's hand.
It depends on what your intentions are, I reckon. Like, I've got no interest in getting photos with celebrities at all.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I wouldn't.
But-
Jeez, you're arrogant.
But, and I wouldn't just go up and say hi to anyone. If I like, the only people I'd do it to are the ones that I actually like.
And so
And
what's
wanna say-
the list?
Want to say like, thanks for entertaining me.
And so
I don't know
what's
what
the
I'd say.
list?
Well, probably those guys.
Yeah.
And
But these are so who would you break it for?
because
Who, if you
Break
were
what?
in it, break that thought of I'm not going to go up to somebody.
Well, he would do those people.
well, I don't
Yeah,
do the
I-
people that actually had an influence on me. Like, I don't care about like other celebs.
Posty.
Posty, I would have left.
Do you like Post Malone?
Oh, I enjoy some of his songs, but
I fucking love his stuff.
if you love him, then great.
Yeah.
Who would I break it for?
But-
I don't know. Obama, maybe.
Wow.
Just in a chicken
Wait,
shop
so
and Obama's there.
Obama, that's an example of someone that,
That was just the first thing that came to
but
mind.
he hasn't influenced you much,
Nah, not
but
really.
you just,
Bad
you see the
example.
value.
Cool bloke.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
I feel like Harry and Meghan, everyone would break
like,
composure, wouldn't they, at the moment?
this is small,
Maybe.
like not other people around. It's intimate, like it's just an opportune situation.
So
You just
lobby at a very boutique hotel.
Actually, Chris Lilley, I would do it too as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
He'd
I've done
run
it
off,
before.
though. Would he? Have you done it to
yeah.
him?
Yeah.
What did he do?
Great. Because, in Byron, the shop that my mum owns used to have an ABC section in it.
Oh, great.
Used to be
yeah.
an ABC centre. And we saw him out, and I love Chris Lilley. But I've always heard that, like, oh, don't go up to him. He's a bit of a princess. And, like, I was like, okay, I don't want to talk to him in case he ruins what I think of him.
Mhm.
And he was the nicest guy.
Really?
Came up to him, I said, come to the shop in the morning. We got like an ABC centre, give you free coffee.
You said this to him?
Yeah. And he
You
turned
did a
up.
sell.
Right, yeah, I said, if you come down to the shop in the morning,
Wait, so just go from the start. So Chris,
Okay.
what's Chris doing?
he's just at a pub. He's at the beach.
And so you just saw him like just out of nowhere, or
Yeah.
you knew he was going to be at the pub?
No, he was there,
Okay, and you were there.
and we were there.
Were you drinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
how many schooners in?
I don't know. Like,
6?
and so like I was like, okay, I'm not going to do it. And I was like, nah, going to do it. Went up to him, me and my sister. We said, hey, come to the shop in the morning if you want. We'll give you free breakfast and whatever. And he's like, oh, great, thanks. And then he turned up in the morning, and we gave him a coffee, and he signed a bunch of DVDs and stuff. And he was the nicest guy.
Wow.
Took photos. Great.
That's nice.
Yeah, clearly he didn't need the free. He wasn't doing it for the free breakfast. Was
Yeah, he
he?
was.
Would he really? You think he was doing it for the
I don't
free?
know. I think
did,
he
did he pay for his breakfast?
Yeah, he did.
He did. So
Oh,
there
he
you go.
did.
Yeah.
I love that you don't lead with that. Was probably a big
Yeah.
part. He's probably screaming.
We're all thinking
being
he was a bit scabby.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so he paid for it. Do you remember what he ate?
He actually just had like a little cookie and a coffee.
So he was.
Yeah.
So he was just being nice.
He was just being nice. He was just,
That's
oh, my
nice.
DVDs are down there. Maybe I should go visit.
And so then you you were there waiting for him.
Yeah, I was working. It was it's good.
Best day of George's life.
And did you get a photo though?
Can't remember actually.
You didn't.
I did. I don't think I was in a photo. Oh no, I did at the pub. I did, but not at the bookshop.
Okay, so you. All right, that's good.
So
Oh,
we
great.
did get a photo in the end.
Yeah, it seems like autographs are a bit old school.
Redundant.
Yeah.
It's more the selfie.
Well, Billie
It's all
Eilish doesn't
selfie.
do autographs anymore.
It's
That's
all
her thing.
selfies. It's all selfies.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right.
Okay. This one?
Yeah. yeah.
Okay. Favorite presenter for me? Easy. Ben Fordham.
Oh yeah, Ben. He's great.
I
Fordo.
feel like doesn't seem to be anyone else
Mhm.
as constantly fun
Yeah.
and like supportive of other people's work.
Oh, he's the people's
Yeah.
presenter.
Yeah.
And
Ooh,
he,
it's amazing.
Have you ever watched his live video on the 2GB website?
No.
So you can actually watch him do the show live, and it's the best thing because it's just
He's up and about.
he's always got great posture. He's like this. He's
Shirt
always got
on,
like a shirt,
nice white shirt.
Yeah, like a nice with a collar. And he's just like, now we're getting reports of something that's just happened at Martin Place. That sort of
Oh,
thing.
that took things really dark.
Well, no, something bad. Like it turns out that it was
He's covered it all.
Like the shooting.
At Lint Cafe.
I was going.
Yeah, I was
going.
to Josh, who's at the Lint Cafe. Mate, what's going on in there?
Yeah, mate. What are you saying? You know, but he's very good at that sort of thing.
He
you know?
brings a level of professionalism that we couldn't ever bring.
exactly. As we've
Yeah,
seen.
and he seems to also have like his whole neighborhood employed with all of his little odd jobs and things. And it's like, that is amazing.
He did an Instagram story of like 6 kids on a trampoline. I was like, is this a staff meeting? He said, mate, they've formed a union.
Yeah, they get RDOs.
Yeah, no, that was a good one. He's going to be in Melbourne. We'll have him on the show
Yes.
at the end of this month.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, because there's all the Ninja Warrior stuff, I think.
Mm.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah, another
Is that-
season Ninja Warrior.
Is that announced? Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, and the other one I like is Rachel Corbett. Do you know Rachel Corbett?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
she's
know
on the
who she is. I
project.
don't know who
Yeah,
she is.
yeah.
I mean, you got to watch the project to know.
But she's also an amazing podcaster.
Did she
She's
just
great.
leave? I think I saw on her Instagram she left Mamma Mia
Has she?
just yesterday. Was her last
Ooh,
day.
I'm out of the loop.
I wonder what she's doing. But she's got pod school. Is that?
She's got pod school. Yeah. No,
great.
I love her.
We should get her on.
She's great. She's very hilarious.
I wonder what she's doing now.
Yeah.
All right, to finish this off, maybe we just do rapid fire so that
All right.
your handwriting on these Lego blocks,
They're not Lego.
yeah, they look like, they're plastic.
They're, what's it called? Jenga.
They're plastic blocks.
Read, watch, and listen recommendations. So you can choose one.
Okay. Tiny Habits, which is the book for this month's
Altered
book club.
Altered Carbon to watch.
Yes.
Oh, really?
It's
What's
really,
that?
it's really good. Think a new modern Matrix.
Okay. I'm going to have to do a watch as well because I watched like one of the best stand-up comedies on Netflix. It's called Quarter Life Crisis. Taylor Tomlinson, I think her name is.
Yeah.
25 years old. So hilarious. I cried laughing.
She been on Joe Rogan, maybe. I think
Not
I saw
sure.
her. Yeah, I saw her.
This
on,
is not a
yeah.
rapid round then.
Okay, sorry. One more.
Yep.
Rapid round. We can get through them all.
Rapid. Okay.
But we'll just go hard.
Favorite cafe?
The one that we got these from.
Birdcage Cafe.
Yeah, I like.
Okay.
I'm digging this, but I also love in
Heritage Wall,
Heritage Wall
and
in
AU79.
Camberwell and AU79.
Celebrity crush.
I don't know actually.
I'm trying to think of a man that I really like.
What about a woman? Just-
I mean, on the
Love Tato.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
mate. All right.
No, that's fair. She's
What's the guy's name? There's a bit of a man crush on like Downey Jr. Like in Iron Man. That
Robert Downey Jr. Yeah,
he's
great.
the persona that he has in that film. Love him.
Who's your celebrity crush, George?
I can't think. Probably,
Hamish Blake.
I mean, Billie Eilish is a bit young, isn't she?
She's 18 now.
Yeah.
She's 18 now.
She's
but
18 now.
Dodge,
You should
dodge.
never have to say she's 18 now. Dana, you've gone too far. And then she's very mature and doesn't look 18 as well.
right, the It's even worse.
Thanks, Josh.
He's trying to help him out.
Leave it at she's 18, not mate. She's mature.
Okay, can we change? I would say mine is Taylor Hanson. I've loved him since I was like 9 years old.
Oh, yeah,
Taylor
great.
Hanson.
That's a good
Yeah.
one from the Hanson.
Yeah.
From Hanson.
I
Yeah.
would die. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a good one. Actually,
Last one. All right, speed
the
round.
Pussycat
Oh, you
Dolls,
haven't-
the
Nicole Scherzinger.
no, the blonde Queen Gronk and I were talking about the blonde woman in Pussycat Dolls. She's
This is not your leave pass, mate. It's your celebrity crush.
No, that's fine. I think we can lock that in. Mr. 97.
If you don't know her name, all you know her is the blonde pussycat
And
doll.
you're just sort of like doing the gesture of her body.
yeah.
So it's just that
Dancing.
she has
This is
a body. It's fine.
Yeah. All right, last one, Leah.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Something you've learned from a daily talk show guest.
From a guest.
I always go back to Michael Bungay Stania. His questions and like coaching, like getting into like the posture of coaching. I feel like I use it every single day. I'm thinking about it every single day. So that was probably the biggest impact.
Seth Godin, I asked him about kids and devices, and it was around like restrict their usage as long as possible, not with the idea that that's forever, but just they will pick it up anyway. So it's like and it's probably like 1 to 2.5 but when they get 2.5, they go psycho. But before that, it's like they don't know, so they don't need to, and then they will pick it up as long as possible.
Also,
they're
I
going to
think-
work it out at school, right?
Like the 10,000 hour thing with Joe Stanley. I just thought like when she came into the studio, she was so good at involving 97 and all that sort of stuff. I just thought that it showed how when you do something for a long time, like you just, they talk about like natural talent or whatever. You can see that just her doing it for so long, she can just come in and be like world class.
Season pro.
Yeah, she was electric.
Yeah.
I think mine was Hamish, how he talked about how his son started school and just the process of that whole thing and how like it's okay to take that time to support them and blah, blah. And I was like, I felt that was quite
Was down ball big at the school that you
down
taught
ball's
at?
really happening.
Really?
Yeah.
More than 2 and 4 square?
No, they're happening as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say that 4 square and 2 square are more popular. Is that fair to say?
I think that is fair to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
How do you know this, Josh?
Huh? No, well, just because in school, I just know from school days, and I think that down ball seems like an inferior sport because you need a a wall. Whereas with the 2 square and 4 square, it's actually way easier because all you need is the ball.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks.
You're going to say
I was going to say, and a
You
few
also
cracks
need
in the
another
pavement.
person.
Yeah, another person.
Yeah.
2 and 4
True,
squares. So
true.
wall's easier.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, the next day after Hamish was on, he texted TJ and I, a kid in Geelong just against a 40 Winks wall, just doing a bit of down ball.
It was great.
So
He's
it's
probably
like-
waiting for mum and dad inside doing some shopping, and he's just
I could
playing
actually
a bit.
get
Great
behind.
hand-eye coordination.
It actually, I could enjoy that. I just feel like that would be good
If
for
you
my
do it in the
scaps as
studio,
well.
good.
Yeah,
Got a
it'd be
wall here.
very noisy. All right. Is that it?
That's it, we're done.
Leah, thank you so much for coming on again.
Pleasure. Thanks for
So
having
do you
me.
know what the next, like if people want to follow along, should they be going to your current podcast? Or what's
Yeah, you can look up your podcast present and there's 10 episodes now. There'll be 12 by the next couple of months. You'll hear Josh on there,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Is that April, did you say we're doing that? Or
Yeah,
is that,
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
For creative innovators.
Yeah, lovely. Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to have
Thanks
my
for having
OJ.
me.
All right. It's a daily talk show. Remember, we're giving away free stickers. You just have to join the VIP Gronk sort of club. We call it a club. It's not really a club. It's a
squad
program.
that we've
Become
called.
a VIP Gronk.
Yeah, become a VIP Gronk. Go to thedailytalkshow.com/Gronks. Fill out your details. And if you do it before March 13, you do get those free stickers. So there you go. All right. See you tomorrow, guys.
See you guys.